Hello everyone, Scary Skeleton Reactor here, bringing to you yet another reaction video. Time for some more Mr. Nightmare. Now, this time I'm going to be reacting to 5 very disturbing things that happen to people while home alone. Yeah. And so far, for me personally, nothing disturbing has happened yet. So, fingers crossed that whenever I'm home alone, things are safe and smooth sailing. So, anyways, yeah. And for the most part, whenever I am home alone, nothing happens. Everything has always been uneventful, which I prefer. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. 5 disturbing home alone occurrences. Alright.
An 18-year-old boy named Liam was home alone for a whole week when his dad and stepmom went on their honeymoon. While playing video games in his brother's old bedroom, who had since moved out, he could hear a kind of scraping noise that seemed to be coming from outside.
What?
The strange thing, this room was on the 2nd floor, so it seemed nothing but odd to hear something outside scraping against the walls. He tried to ignore it by turning the video game up louder, but the scraping sounds only became more apparent. He decided to finally look out the window, but it was too dark to really see anything. He left the window open a crack to better hear the noise if it persisted.
Oh my gosh!
He spun around to discover the window was now open, and someone was crawling into the room through it.
No way!
He was able to push the intruder back out the window before he could fully make it into the room, who then fell 2 stories down into the bushes below. He apparently wasn't too injured, as he was gone within minutes.
Why didn't you call the cops, man? If you hear scraping against the building when you feel like there shouldn't be, you should have just called 911 then. Oh my goodness. Now that is some scary animation right there, Mr. Nightmare. I'll give you that. That was 5, now number 4. Woo!
During a rainy night in central Islip on Long Island, a teenager named Ian was home alone, so he invited his friend Carl over. His friend texted that he would be over in 2 minutes. Ian prepared the video games he planned on playing with Carl, and heard the gate to the backyard close.
Uh-oh.
Confused as to why Carl went out back, Ian went out to the backyard.
That is not.
His shed door was open with the light on. As he called out Carl's name walking to the shed, the light inside the shed turned off.
Oh no.
Simultaneously, Ian received a text from Carl saying, "I'm here."
Oh.
Ian responded, "Are you in the shed?" He responded back, "I'm at the front door." As Ian looked up, the door to the shed pulled shut with force. Ian ran back into his house and let Carl in. When the police responded to Ian's call, they checked the shed, found the door was back open, and that nobody was inside.
Man! Again, why didn't you call the police sooner? Oh my goodness. The video's already starting to get creepy on me. Oh man. Whew. This is why Mr. Nightmare is the master. Wow. Number 3. Please call the police sooner this time.
45-year-old Chris was supposed to be working late for the night, so his family went out to eat dinner without him. However, he was unexpectedly able to come home early. As a result, he had the house to himself for a few hours. He went down to his man cave in the basement to watch TV. That was when he heard the backyard basement window flap open, and someone stuck their head inside, peering around the room. He hid behind the couch until the person shut the window. Chris ran upstairs with a baseball bat and shut off all the lights. He waited in the kitchen, which was by the back door. Somebody suddenly reached their arm through the pet door in an attempt to unlock the door. Chris swung the baseball bat as hard as he could at the person's arm, causing them to scream and flee.
Good.
That same night, sirens roared down the street and stopped at a neighborhood house. It turned out one of Chris's neighbors 3 doors down had been murdered.
Oh,
and when his
no.
wife came home, she found the house was ransacked with missing valuables everywhere. And then she found her husband, dead on the kitchen floor with a stab wound in the back of his head.
Oh my goodness. Man. At least the guy defended himself, but at the same time I would have immediately called the cops on him. But good defense.
A young girl named Anne was home alone
Number
one
2.
snowy Friday night. Her parents were out to dinner, and her sister was out with friends. She was taking a nap on her bed.
Uh-oh.
She awoke to the thump. She was sure it came from her closet door, so she got up and bravely opened it.
Doesn't anyone have alarm
Didn't
systems
seem to
these
be anyone
days?
inside, so she closed the closet and spun around. There she saw the head under the bed. The head of a man looking at her with an expressionless stare.
God.
She fell to the floor screaming.
Creeper!
That's when the closet doors behind her opened and someone grabbed her and pulled her in. The man from under the bed emerged and approached her as she was being held down.
Oh.
The 2 of them carried her downstairs where they put tape over her mouth and tied her arms together. One checked to make sure the coast was clear before carrying her outside, where they planned to put her in their car's trunk. However, about halfway to their car, a large group of teenagers came riding down on their bikes and witnessed it all. Some of them were screaming for help, while some of them got off their bikes and started to slowly approach the 2 men. They knew they wouldn't get away with it now, so they dropped Anne, jumped into their car, and sped away. She was completely awake and conscious throughout all of this. It's unknown why they didn't just tie her up while she was sleeping. The most realistic possibility is that they simply wanted to scare the girl. This may seem like a crazy, rare occurrence, and you may even call it fake. However, things like this happen all the time, and are shown commonly on the news. Perhaps they're just the stories we forget about.
Oh my goodness. Whew. Man. That is terrifying. Good thing for the group of teenagers who decide to raise some attention. Man. And again, criminals can be stupid also. They could be not the brightest bulbs in the shed. But man, I don't think that would have been a prank. I don't think that was a prank. They wanted to kidnap her. Like, oh man. Ugh. Man. Last story. Number 1.
22-year-old Garber still lived with his parents. He was the youngest of 3, so his 2 siblings had already moved out and his parents were out 3 to 4 nights a week. This one particular stormy night, he was home alone in his room when he could swear he heard something hit his window. It wasn't insanely weird, as the weather was pretty bad and something may have just blown into his window. However, a second thud at the window sent his heart racing.
Grab the phone.
He was blind and could see somebody standing out there. Even through the damp windows and the pouring rain,
Jeez.
he knew he did not recognize that person. He
Call
shut
the
blinds
police!
to send a message to go away. However, he wasn't even able to move away from the windowsill before something else was thrown at the window. Garber opened the blind, and this time even the window, and shouted, "What do you want?" The man down below called back, "Come outside, I want to show you something."
Don't do it.
Garber went downstairs to call the police.
Call the
They
police.
asked him if he was sure that he didn't know the person and if they had caused any damage. The 911 operator asked Garber to call back if the person continued to harass him or showed signs of wanting to break in. Garber hung up the phone. He wanted to see a better view from down in the kitchen, so he opened the kitchen blinds.
Oh! Whoa!
Garber called the police right back and informed them that the man was standing at his kitchen window and to send somebody right away. The next time he looked back at the kitchen window, the man was gone.
Why didn't you... Oh my goodness.
That was the last time Garber ever saw that man.
Mr. Nightmare, you got me
I hope you
good.
found this video interesting, scary, or just entertaining. If you'd like to hear more Home Alone stuff, I do have a video about 10 true Home Alone stories.
Oh my goodness. Woo! Well, that gave me the chills, but it was entertaining at the same time. Oh man. Well, anyways, that was 5 very disturbing things that happened to people while home alone. That creeped me out. Oh man, I'm starting to feel a little paranoid. Oh man. Woo, boy. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know the drill. Please like, please subscribe. If you guys have requests, comment down below. See you guys in my next reaction. Peace.